U.S.S. Excelsior NX-2000. This is BlueBrixx Star Trek set 105689. It was released in December 2023 for about €35. This construction block set consists of 585 standard pieces, which are compatible to bricks by other building blocks companies like Lego, Kobe, Mega, and so on. Since BlueBrixx couldn't renew its Star Trek license, they are not going to restock sold-out sets, and sadly this is one of these sold-out sets, so if you want to have the set too, you have to look for it on the second-hand market, where at the moment of recording this video you can find a still sealed box for about 45 to 70 euros. The Excelsior is a ship which we could see for the first time in the third Star Trek movie, The Search for Spock. And this set here depicts this ship as a mid-sized scale model. BlueBrixx has produced Star Trek ships in several sizes, so we got the mini models, we got mid-sized models, then we got huge display-sized models, and also some shuttles were produced in minifigure scale. The Excelsior was produced as a mini model and also in this mid-sized scale, and since I always prefer the bigger models, I bought the mid-sized scale model. Like all the other BlueBrixx Star Trek sets, this set here is a Pro set too, which means it comes in this rather colorful box which shows us computer rendered images of the completed build on the front cover and the back cover. On the back we also get to know that dimensions of the completed build are 13.4 centimeters by 35.6 centimeters by 13.9 centimeters. Another thing about those BlueBrixx Star Trek sets is that they are manufactured by Xingbao. It says so on the box, and this means the pieces will come with rather ugly injection holes on the studs, at least most of the pieces. And since this is a computer rendered image, we do not see those ugly injection holes on the studs here. But maybe the completed build will cover all the ugly injection holes, and hopefully these studs here come without injection holes, but we have to find out in the end. Another thing about Pro sets is that they only used to come with printed instructions. There were no digital instructions, but since BlueBrixx has announced that they won't have any Star Trek sets in the future, they put all the instructions for the Star Trek sets on their website, and this means now you can't buy the set any longer, but at least you get digital instructions. Alright, let's open the box. Inside the box we find this plate here and all the needed pieces, which are pre-sorted to individual building sections. Each bag comes with a number on it, and the number stands for the building section for which we need those pieces. For example, there are several bags with the number 1 on them, which means we have to open those bags for the first building section, and we have to open the bags with the number 2 for the second building section, and so on. Let's have a look how many building sections there are in total. This is something we can see in the instructions. Oh, there are only 2 building sections in total, so we will only find bags with the number 1 on or 2 on them. So what else do we find inside the box? There's this bag here, which is part of the first building section, and it says, please use these new parts here. Which means in some step of the first building section, we will have to use these pieces here instead of other pieces. It seems that they, simply gave us the wrong pieces and noticed it, and so we got here replacement pieces. Maybe the old pieces have bad tolerances or were in the wrong color, or maybe they somehow altered the build. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. And then there are several bags which contain printed tiles. And yeah, it's cool that those come in separate bags so the tiles don't get any scratches. And as you can see, these tiles here are pre-assembled to a plate. And this is done so that I think Xingbao could print on these pieces in one single go, so we got a perfect print, or a print which aligns perfectly. It goes over several pieces at once, but yeah, the print on each piece is aligned perfectly. If you print all those pieces individually, it might be that this line here might not be continuously, that, yeah, there might be some gaps or something like that. Okay, then I think it's time to start with the first building section. I will open all the bags with the number 1 on them, and then I will come back to you as soon as I see something interesting or something doesn't work as intended. I will start with step 1-1. As announced, there's already something special in the first step. We are using these pieces here. Those are 1x1 plates, but they come with studs on both sides. This is something we see quite often in BlueBrixx sets, but the Lego company, for example, doesn't use these pieces. Step 1-2. We have built this segment here, and the instructions say that we are not supposed to press the components of the segment too tightly together. The thing is, what does that mean? What is too tightly? I have no idea. I guess we will find out in a later step, when we reach a point where maybe we are not able to interlock things correctly if, this gap here isn't wide enough. Step 1-3. I promise I'm not going to talk about every single step, but these first 3 steps all have something interesting. So in this step we are using another piece which the Lego company doesn't use. It's like a 1x2 plate but way thinner, and it comes with studs on both sides. Let's have a look. Do I have a plate for comparison? Yeah, let's have this plate here for comparison. So you can see this piece is as thick as a normal plate, but it comes with studs on both sides. The plate part itself, so yeah, this rectangular part in the middle is way thinner than we are used to. Step 1-7. In this step we finally get to know how wide our gap has to be. It has to be so wide that, yeah, this 2x3 brick aligns perfectly with this 1x2 plate. Step 1-16. We have completed the base, and now we are building that part of the stand on which later we place the ship itself. And here we have to pay attention that we slide all the pieces down on this Technic axle here at the right position, so that the axle peaks out in the right length at once we have completed this little segment here. And I think I did so right. And yeah, I think that was correct. It was absolutely correct. Great. Step 1-19. We have completed the stand. It's time to start with the ship. Step 1-29. Here is another special piece which a Lego company doesn't use. It's a 2x2 plate which comes with studs on both sides. Step 1-39. So we reached the step in which we have to use these new plates instead of these old plates. But I can't see any difference. They are the same length, the same color. They even come both with 2 injection holes. And there also isn't any problem with the clutch power. At least any problem that I noticed. Very strange. But well, the bag told me to use the new pieces, so I will use the new pieces, and I guess these here will enter my collection. Step 1-57. In this step we are using another building technique to reverse the building direction, which the Lego company, for example, doesn't use. But we can find this building technique quite often in BlueBrixx sets, and I showed you this technique in a lot of my videos about BlueBrixx sets. So we got this plate here, and we want to have a plate which has studs on both sides. So we want to turn all these anti-studs into regular studs. And for that we need these single studs, hollow studs, only studs, Kobe studs, whatever you want to call them. And this bar here, which we use as a tool. So let me place the camera, and then I can show you how this technique works. So we stick the bar in one of those studs, and then we place the stud at the underside of our plate like this, and once we have placed this, we have to push the stud down with our fingernail. The problem is that it often doesn't work that well with this bar here. Other companies like Kobe have a special tool for doing this, and yeah, you should use the Kobe tool if you have one. Sadly, I don't have any of those. So I have to use the bar which comes with the set. So what we do is that we place the stud on the underside of the plate. We interlock it with the anti-stud, and then we push down the stud with one of our fingernails, or better said, we hold it in place with one of our fingernails, and then we simply remove the tool. For this step we have to do this with all of the anti-studs here, and then we are able to interlock the underside of this plate with the underside of another plate. Like this. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work too well. But it is possible. Step 1-69. We have completed the first building section, in which we have built the stand, the lower part of the ship, and the front part of the saucer section. Now in the second building section we are going to complete the build. What's still left is the back part of the saucer section and the warp nacelles. Step 2-19. We have completed the saucer section and now it's time to marry it with the rest of the ship. Like this. And after that, the only thing left to do is to build the warp nacelles. Step 2-46. With marrying the ship with its stand, we have completed the build. The ship might look a bit blocky in the scale, but nevertheless I think the designers could recreate the ship's shape really well. Here in the front we got the saucer section with the bridge and yeah, this cool print here. It's the ship's name with its number. On the underside there is another print of the number. I think this here might be some sensor array or whatever. Then here in the front we got the deflector dish. And I think this is quite interesting. Other Starfleet ships have a more prominent deflector dish. Here it's kinda hidden, but yeah, it's a cool design. Then on the sides we get to see more of those cool prints. It's the Starfleet emblem. Here we got, of course, the warp nacelles. And I think here in the back this might be the cargo bay. Yeah, I don't have much more to say about the ship itself. I think there's much information out there. With the other mid-sized models, I often had to criticize the stand, but I think in this case it fits quite well to the ship. Normally I don't like that the stand has the shape of the Starfleet emblem or that it's in this shiny color here. It's often way too prominent. But yeah, in this case I think it's alright. It fits quite well to the ship. The ship is a bit longer and because of that the stand itself simply isn't that prominent. Here we got once again one of those cool printed tiles. But of course this plaque only has very few information about the ship itself. We get to see in which movie the ship appeared, we get to know the ship's name, we get an image of the ship and the length of the ship, 467 meters. And that's about it. I don't know. I think when we get an info plaque, they should give us only the name of the ship, or when they give us some infos, then there should be more than just the length. But nevertheless, it looks quite cool. What annoys me a bit is that the ship isn't perfectly balanced on the stand. Have a look here, it sits in an angle on the stand. When I push down the ship into this position, then it's balanced perfectly. But when I let go, the ship gets into this, slightly upright position, as if it's starting, as if it's a starting airplane. But on the other hand, maybe it looks cooler that way. I don't know. It sits also a bit wobbly on here. It wobbles when you touch it, but on the other hand, it sits perfectly sturdy on there. It doesn't fall down, so it's not that a big problem that it's wobbly. And you can easily remove it. And then you got a cute little swooshable starship. It's a very sturdy build. I like it. It was a quite quick build, and it was very easy to assemble everything. I didn't have any problems at all with the build. From that side, there really isn't anything to complain about. The bricks we used for this ship are alright. Those definitely are not the best pieces on the market because they come with huge and ugly injection holes. You can see them here. Luckily, the completed build only shows how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, that seems to be it. 5 of those ugly injection holes. All the other studs with those crater-like holes are covered, and so it's not too much of a problem, I would say. And the bricks themselves work totally fine. There really was no problem with the clutch power at all. I could assemble everything without any problem. This might not be the most elegant starship in the Starfleet, but nevertheless, I think this model here is a nice addition to every Star Trek Starfleet collection.